TTS and such. So you want to make sure you got CUDA installed, you got Python 3.1. So what you're going to do is you're going to, I will show you what the application actually looks like first, and then I will show you how to go about installing it. So yeah, I ran startup app, it generated a link, and then I'm going to go to my local, and then you see here, you've got the application, you've got all your TTS and fine tuning and stuff. So you can generate audio. I'll show you how to do this eventually, but I start simple. I will first show you how to install. So I've got new folder here, Xtts finetune. I have already cloned into here. So what you want to do is now you need to create a virtual environment. To do that, you type cmd into the actual main folder itself of the clone you've just done. So mine is just called Xtts finetune show, and then the Webui, which you've just cloned in. Using GPT to guide me through this project, and it's also easier to enter commands this way for me. So I've used this. So because you're explicitly using 3.1, you would enter the command here to set up the virtual environment. And then you need to activate the script. So venv /scripts and activate. Enter that. You see now we got venv here. So now all it requires is to install the requirements, and that should be it. It is quite a lengthy process, but once this is done, you should be able to launch your start.bat file, and then it should work. Once the download has happened, then you can start producing your own voices and such. But now I'm going to show you how to do the RCV, which is very similar. You know, you're going through, you're creating venv again. You do the exact same thing I just showed you with using Python 3.1. Then you want to use a launch.bat file, which is going to echo off to call your scripts. So launching in the virtual environments you need to do, and then run the Python app. The problem with this, however, is that the command prompt doesn't quite show you the link it is in, so you got to actually manually search for the you know, the local server you're running. You know, I got pretty weird stuff coming up here. It looks a bit overwhelming, but if you just follow the steps, you should be able to get it up. And if you've got any questions, just ask in comments. I'll try help. Yeah, there you go, it worked. They just didn't work because I already had a server open. I had the OogaBooga opened. Yeah, so I am making essentially an operating system AI which can run on my computer, I can talk to and such. I've got you know, massive ass JSON file. I've got linked voice clips. I'm going through all of this. Eventually I can translate the VN, and then eventually I can the application, so you can load out different models for different emotions and such. That is what I'm working on. GPT is saying there you go, you've got RVC. I didn't actually show you how to do RVC, but it's just the same as the fine tuning, to be honest. So you know, it's still downloading. Eventually you'll get something, and then you can run start.bat. This takes a long time to do. A long time to do, because there's so many dependencies. There's so much to do. So in the meantime, I'll show you my weird voice clips.
Oh, sorry. Guess I spent too much time in the States.
So yeah.
Alright then. Fine. You're so keen, let's do this.
That's basically
That concludes my reasoning with regard to the
the thing I'll be training. So I can show you the file size of these things. The fine tune is 17 gigabytes, so you can tell it takes a long time to do. I think I'm being an idiot because I don't know which one it is. But I think rewrite. I think it is this one. Yeah, so it's my RVC normal which works. My normal RVC doesn't work. See, I've had lots of attempts to this. I've got random files like retry and whatever, like retry number 1, retry number 2, retry number 3. Yeah, you can see finally it's done. That's the show thing is done. So from here, what you want to do is, I believe you can actually shut this now, and then launch the start.bat file. And there you go, it works. I've just showed you how to get Xtts finetune. And what do you know? Provided a link. You go into your Firefox or whatever the browser you use, search engine. You go into here. This takes a really long time. I really don't want to show you how it's done because it really takes a long time. So all you need to know is you need to drop a clip in here. It needs to be equal to or larger than 2 minutes. It creates a data set, and then you move to the fine-tuning code. This is automatically put in. Epoches, the higher you go, the better it is, but you don't want to overdo it. So, you know, first time 6, maybe next time 12, then, you know, find out what's best. But, you know, it takes a while to run these things. So yeah, eventually you'd run the model, then you'd optimize it, and you load the parameters. This should be filled in, and load the XTTS, and you got the advanced settings. You can see I'm not messing with that. Then you use your reference audio. That should be filled in. You can type whatever you want, and then your old clip should be down here. Your new clip should be up here, and you should be able to play. No, that is it. This is just normal RVC. You see. You need an audio file to get it to work. So you just follow these buttons along. These saves models at each point. So for example, if I had 20 or something, and then I don't know, 300, you'd have 15 models at the end. So you'd press yes to do that. I mean, I have not even explored all this stuff yet, but I just know the basics to it. So eventually, once you've got your fine-tune, you know, your fine-tune stuff, I ran the thing. There it is. So my models in here, I think. So yeah, this is the model. So from my intuition, I believe what you do is you move it into obviously working. Then you move it into models here. You need to launch that echo file I showed you earlier, because if you just launch start, it don't work. You need to launch the virtual environment every dang time, and it always gives you the wrong link, but it works, so who cares. Forget my badly laid out PC. So yeah, there's lots of voices in here, so I don't know. You want to move the total audio file into here or something. Maybe I gotta reload it, who knows. I don't even know if I've got this obviously working. I mean it boots, but does it actually work? I don't know. You know, I really hate Windows 11. Let's see if it works. It's gonna be embarrassing if it doesn't. Ah, there we go, it works. So G apparently seems to work, so I assume, you know, you move your model in and it works as well, but I'll let you know on obviously after. I got fine-tune working though, so yeah. As you can see, I already have produced some voices before, so I have tested this before. I've got my the recognized GPU. As you can see, my GPU is recognized. I'm gonna play random clips.
Well-established theoretical foundations in virtually every branch of physics are...
So yeah, that is basically the voice we'll be using. Now the problem is when you mix OGG and WAV together. So we will test different voice files first. So this is a 0224 OGG file and a WAV file, and we'll see how they behave given we have different you know, file types. So we're gonna say this is voice file. Specify speaker 0, version 1 or version 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to process this data. I believe that is correct. So release the old one. Like, I don't want it to be deleted. Like, stop doing it, please. I just want my application to work, man. Okay, so we'll try this again then. Hopefully this time Python won't give us a hard time. So we're gonna do this again. I'll name it YT show 40k the voices because that's our file we're gonna use. Okay, so it just seems our file was wrong. Well, it looks like it worked. Okay, so OGG and different file. We have you know, one GPU, so just keep this as 0. Since we're using GPU mode, we have RMVPE GPU. However, if you are using a CPU, you would have RMVPE. And that would take a lot longer of a time. So yeah, what you do now is you feature extract. So you should see a you know, more text coming down, which this guy thinks we downloaded our models earlier. So yeah. Then we're moving it to CUDA. Now, to avoid errors, you should move this to 50 and this to a reasonable amount. I'd say about, you know, 250, 300. Maybe if you want less time, 200. But for the sake of testing, I'll move it to, let's say, I'll move it to 300. So the higher this is, the more strain it puts on the GPU. If it says queued out of memory, you can just move it down. There's no problem with that. But you've got to be aware of, you know, overheating. So yeah, keep the temperature low. So yeah, I'm gonna move it to 15. I have 12 gigabytes. I don't know if that's enough, but I'll test it anyway. This doesn't really make much difference. So since we've got less than 10 minutes, we're gonna keep this as no. So yeah. Save a small final model to wait for each save point. We're going to say yes to that because that means we're going to save 6 models in total, 50 for 300. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click one-click training, and that should basically train our model. This is to show that you can, you know, cross the WAV file and the OGG file in this. It will take a lot of time. My computer might freeze, but once it's done, we'll have models we can test and I can show you how it works. I'll come back once it's done. Hello, so it seems that the epoches have been successful. I will show you what we can now do with that. So as we see, the training is being completed. So we can go, for example, to, you know, interface, enter the process and the path to the index file. We should restart our VC in general so we can see our new model, and it's been completed. So we're going to do that now. We can select our final model, the YT Show E300, and so we're going to try some voice model from what we just put in from YT Show and our CRS wave file. Here are the results. This is text to speech.
Hello there. What is your name?
And this is our RVC applied with our model.
Hello there. What is your name?
It is an improvement, but of course it will never outmatch. So we're going to try some simple voice model from what we just put in from YT Show and our CRS wave file. Here are the results. This is text to speech.
Hello there. What is your name?
And this is our RVC applied with our model.
Hello there. What is your name?
It is an improvement, but of course it will never outmatch 11 Labs just yet. Thank you for watching the video, and any questions, just leave them down below in the comments, and you know, like and subscribe.